Call this meeting of the special meeting of the New Brunswick Parking Authority to order. Please be advised that the notice requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act have been complied with and satisfied, and that the annual notice, which gave sufficient notice of the time, place, and conduct of all public meetings of the New Brunswick Parking Authority, has been posted on the authority's website, has been filed with the city clerk, has been placed on an appropriate bulletin board in the lobby of City Hall, New Brunswick, New Jersey, and has been transmitted to the official newspaper for the city of New Brunswick, namely the Central New Jersey Home News Tribune, as per the annual notice provided for in a resolution adopted by this governing body on December 29, 1975. Is there any public comment before we start?
Do we have a call on you first, or?
Am I recognized? Good morning, board members. Charlie Cradaville, New Brunswick Today. I missed the last meeting, but there were some issues I brought up in January that I wanted to follow up on. First and foremost, the JIF, the Middlesex County Municipal Joint Insurance Fund. It's my understanding that the effort to dissolve the fund through some actions on New Year's Eve was deemed unsuccessful, inappropriate, illegal by the Department of Banking and Insurance. And so I wanted to understand what's the new plan for resolving all that.
Yeah, it's we can't really comment too far on it, and the reason being is that they're obviously Adobe's made its decisions. Those decisions are being challenged. There's going to be, there's an ongoing discussion that's occurring. So while that's going on, it's kind of a privileged piece of communication. Once it's resolved, we'll be able to kind of communicate what went on and what the resolutions were. But right now, we're actively engaged with Adobe and other representatives from the state.
Got it. And just to be clear, you're in charge of handling that. There's no outside counsel that the parking authority is working with, or?
No. So you're asking that it's the JIF is the one that's handling that. So it's not being handled by me as a representative of
You're just observing.
the authority. The JIF has its own counsel.
Right.
So while we're participants, there's separate counsel from the JIF that is handling this and is taking the lead on it. And like I said, those communications, what's gone on, are privileged in that nature. Once they've gone to their hearings, then we can make that available.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just say, as I've been warning the board since December, things are really out of control with that former JIF, the Middlesex County Municipal Joint Insurance Fund, and you should be very careful with how you proceed, because the people that are running it have made a lot of mistakes. They haven't been transparent, and now consequences are coming, and I don't want to see New Brunswick hurt by that mismanagement. And I hope that the board and council will take it seriously. I also had another couple matters to follow up on. One was, I had mentioned I received an erroneous parking ticket in December, and pleased to report I did fight it in court and was successful. It was a ticket for saying I needed to have a permit to park, but that block, that side of the block didn't require it. So I was able to get the case dismissed. And yeah, I guess I didn't hear from anybody here asking for more information. So if you want more information, I'll share it. But I did have a concern about another ticket I have learned about. So I have handouts for people if you're able to take a look here. This is.
Wait a minute, are you giving us information about a parking ticket you received on your car?
No, this is a different ticket now.
Oh, man. Is this your ticket?
No, this is a different one. Like I said, I fought the charge and I beat it.
Is this something that me and you could discuss? Or you need to?
I wanted the board to know, so you could just take one, pass it down. This is, can I have one too? This is a ticket that was dismissed. Happened to see the car and see that it was illegally parked. There go. And yeah, this was on January 3. Ticket was issued 5:25 p.m. Later that night, I saw the car was still there, and was issued a summons. I took a photograph of the summons and followed up to see if this person, paid the fine or challenged it. And I guess, you can see from this certification of disposition, the defendant is listed as IBEW Local Union 456, and it says dismissed from parking authority, wrong violation entered. I want to thank Ms. Perez for giving me the courtesy of an Oprah response that confirmed that the parking authority had somebody sign off on a document to the municipal court that said, wrong violation entered, no follow-up summons is issued, and so basically the violator not facing consequences. And I wanted to ask if anybody knows who at the parking authority submitted this to the municipal court.
Well, the procedure, I should say, not the policy. The procedure is if an officer issues the wrong violation, they fill out a dismissal form.
Okay.
And then the supervisor signs off on it if they deem it to be, legitimate, if you will. So that's the procedure. So is that what happened here?
It might be. So maybe they put the wrong ordinance, is
Yeah,
what you're
they
saying,
might
and
put
then
the
in that
wrong-
case, the proper thing to do would be the supervisor would sign off on a thing to
Sign
the
off.
court and say
Sometimes they
dismiss the
put-
ticket. We got the
sometimes,
wrong.
like in your case, you brought up about the permit parking. Sometimes, you might have called up instead of going to court, and said, hey, I just got a ticket, it says permit parking, it's not permit parking, so then a dismissal will be written out for that.
Okay.
But once it gets into, that's the policy, that's the
Yeah.
procedure. right
Okay. I just may ask who's the supervisor?
That's Tina.
Tina
So
Hilsman.
then, now, we also have the manager signing off on them as well. So that's
And who's that?
Nolia Harris.
Okay.
So she's the operations manager.
To be
Okay.
clear, we're talking about this in hypotheticals, though. We're not actually commenting on the specific ticket or any specific tickets as to why they were.
Right. This is just the policy. Thank you for clarifying. And yeah, I'll follow up with your counsel if that's okay, because I do have the document. I just didn't print that one. But yeah, I was just concerned because I had my issue with my ticket. I brought it up to the board. Nobody said, hey, we'll send something to the court or we'll look into it. But this individual, who I believe is an elected official, got their ticket dismissed. And I just wanted to make sure that everything's on the up and up and that, everybody's being treated fairly and equally. With that, I'll move on and just ask the perpetual question of what's going on with the supermarket, the fresh grocer. Any updates on the space?
We were in, as you know, we were in conversation, negotiation, with a possible tenant, and those negotiations failed to come to a lease. So we're currently looking for another tenant.
Fair enough. I think that's all I had for today. I just do want to say thank you to Mitch for sending me a little reminder that this special meeting was happening. I probably would have found out otherwise, but I appreciate the courtesy. That's all.
Is there any other board discussion? Mitch, could you go over the resolution in front of us today?
Yes, so as the title states, this is regarding the Nokia project over at the old Ferrin site. So there's a number of items on here that the board is being asked to approve. I'll go over them, I'll be as general as possible. First one is that the initial agreement of sale, contract of sale, was made with the DHA2, which was Downtown Hub Associates 2 LLC. That is now being assigned to New Brunswick 2 Urban Renewal Associates, which is owned by members of the SJP New Brunswick LLC, which is the operating partner member, an entity of SJP Properties, an affiliate of North Haven Net Light that's a real estate investment trust, and also Nokia themselves. So we're looking to basically acknowledge and approve that assignment, which I don't think is a problem. And then the other item is there's currently an easement on the books, and this easement is basically the entry lane of the old Ferrin Mall parking deck. So obviously that is no longer necessary. So we're looking to remove that easement off the books. The third item is we're going to grant a approximately 20-foot wide access strip on the site. Basically, it abuts the old Ferrin lot across the Ferrin, or the project site, if you will. And it opens up on Kirkpatrick Street, so it's 20 feet across, and then opening up on Kirkpatrick Street. So we will receive $50,000 for the use of that access strip by the developers. And then number 4, going back in last year, October of '24, we had signed a parking agreement with Nokia themselves for 500 spaces at the Wellness Garage. One of the requirements that the lender is asking is that the developer have access to those parking spaces. If Nokia doesn't use all 500, they will be able to fill in the difference with parking needed. All right, we shouldn't have a problem with that. And then the size of the project is, or the building I should say, is 369,749 gross square feet. And we're going to be paying $45 a square foot, so that comes out to a little over $16 million. And this limits the developer from adding any additional square footage to the building during the first 5 years following the purchase of the property. And then going back to 2016, we had signed an option agreement with Devco for that site, which gave them the first option to purchase, develop that site, the old Ferrin site. So this also will basically do away, terminate that agreement. So that's basically what this resolution is. So it's a number of things.
Okay, anything else we need to know about it?
No, I think, I think there's nothing in here. It was looked over by our attorneys. We're comfortable with what's included in here, and I recommend to the board that it be approved.
Great. In that case, somebody want to offer a motion to approve the resolution?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Second, thank you. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? None? Okay. In that case, I don't think there's any other business on the agenda this morning.
Nope.
Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Sure, make a motion.
In a second? Thank you, guys. Okay, all in favor? We're adjourned. Thanks, everybody.